And we'll go around one more time just to make sure I've got all the slack out, because a wet head, unlike retightening a head, a wet head has to stretch a lot. So I'll go around one more time. Okay, I just finished going around the final time, and that last pull is very, very hard. It'll make your hands red and you'll break a sweat doing it, but you've got to get this tight. You should be able to pull, twang them just like a guitar string. Now when you get to this point, you're back around where your knot is. Just go ahead and pull that loop on through and turn it into a square knot. You should have a good bit of excess slack. Oops, I just undid my whole knot. No problem, we can redo it real easy. Make sure these ropes are tight. And we pull that square knot tight again. Now, this is the tricky part that people have a hard time figuring out. Okay, now I'll give you a shot over my shoulder so you can see better what I'm doing as I do it. Now, starting where this knot is, you've got all this excess rope. This is just, in this case, it's probably 6 or 8 feet of excess rope. Take the end of the rope and go under 2 to the left side of the knot. And pull it all the way through. Now once you have it pulled all the way through, you go over the second rope and under the first rope. Just like that. And pull the excess rope through. Now this is the beginning of a basic molly weave. And it's just like this in an S pattern. And when you pull this rope taut, the 2 up and down ropes will flip over each other and create that first molly weave knot. You just do that all the way around the drum. Now there's my second rope, second knot, and this is pulling the drum head down even tighter and tighter. Now I'll cut away and come back when I get all the way around here. Okay, now I've went all the way around the drum, flipping 2 ropes over, and we get back to where the knot is. You just do these last 2 ropes just like you did all the other ones. Under 2, over the last one, back under the first one, pull your excess rope through, and flip it over. Now in the next stage, you need to offset the rope by the side rope by 1 rope. So we go under 3. If you count them, it's 1, 2, 3 ropes. Go under 3, go ahead and pull all your slack through. And you go over this 3rd rope, back under the 1st rope, pull the slack through, and flip those. And that'll entirely skip this 1st rope. And what that did was offset us by 1 rope. So now when we go back around, we'll have a diamond pattern, which is considered the traditional molly weave. So I'll continue on around the drum. And I'll cut away and I'll come back as soon as I finish this last loop. Okay, now we're back around on the second row, back to the beginning. And you flip these last two just like you did all the other ones. Now if you're just restringing a drum, this is the final step in the restringing process. If you're putting a new head on for the first time, you'll have to wait for it to dry and restring it at least a couple more times. After I flip that last rope, we just find a place to tie the knot. And basically there it is. Now all you have to do is let it dry. Okay, the last process of this restringing, when you've got a wet head, you're putting a new head on, you don't want it to dry with the head sticking out on the sides like this. So I take this last piece of rope and run it around like this, and that will pull that edge down. Like so. If I can get it. You can also use Scotch tape, which seems to work a little bit easier than the rope method. Then you just set your drum off to the side and let it dry for at least 2 days, and then you take the side lacing back out, tighten your up and downs, and put the side lacing back in, and you're ready to go. Now with the hair on the top, while the head is still wet, you can take, if the hair is long, you take scissors and trim the top part and just throw that away. And then I use a product called Blue Magic. You can find it at almost any pharmacy. It's a lapidary powder. You mix it with water and you spread it on here like a paste. Leave it on for about 10 to 15 minutes and it'll dissolve the hair, and you scrape it off with a spoon, and then wash the top with soap and water, and then you're ready to go.